The cause of the supernova that destroyed Romulus remains a mystery. Our allies in the Romulan Republic have a theory on the matter, however. They believe that Taris, the former preator of the Romulan Star Empire, is responsible. Republic forces attempted to apprehend her, but she escaped through an iconian gateway. Recently, the Republic has discovered new information that could help us track down Taris. We want you to rendezvous with the RRW Lisette and provide any assistance you can.
Understood, Admiral. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Trek Online. In the last episode, the Revenant helped defend New Romulus from an allied Tal Shiar and Ilachi attack. And now, Admiral Tenay wants us to rendezvous with the RRW Lisette, the Romulan Republic flagship, to investigate the supernova that destroyed Romulus.
It is a pleasure to be working with you. I heard about how you got your first command. Well done.
Thank you.
Not every officer could have stood up to the Borg like you did.
The pleasure is mine, Commander.
Agents working for the Romulan Republic have recovered definite proof that Taris, or persons working for Taris, were responsible for the Hobus supernova that destroyed the homeworld. Our agent spoke to Taris. She claimed that she was deceived by Hakiv. But that does not excuse her culpability in the destruction of 2 inhabited worlds and the deaths of millions.
Indeed.
Our agent tells us that Taris believes her iconian masters can change the past and restore Romulus. So not only is she a killer, she's insane.
Iconians? Perhaps I'll get a message through that Tesseract thing again. What do you suggest we do about her?
Taris cannot be allowed to commit even greater crimes in an attempt to fix her mistake. My intelligence officer, Lieutenant Gaius Salon, has intercepted communications that may allow us to locate Taris and finally bring her to justice. I'll let him explain in greater detail.
Understood, Commander.
Greetings. I am Lieutenant Gaius Salon of the Romulan Republic. There are certain pleasantries that are customary in these circumstances. However, I'm choosing to skip those. We have much to do.
Indeed.
Recently, the Republic intercepted a transmission from a group of remans in the Hobus system. These remans have remained loyal to Taris, the former praetor of the Romulan Star Empire, who was deposed by Sela. While the transmission was not unusual, its origin point was. The Hobus system is under strict quarantine. However, a previous team uncovered a mining facility at one of the planetary fragments. We believe that the Reman loyalists may have returned to this facility to continue their efforts.
Why is it under quarantine?
The Hobus system is the origin point of the supernova and subsequent subspace explosion, which destroyed Romulus and Remus. It is still, as you say, a hot zone. The Remans loyal to Taris are using the quarantine as a cover to resume their operations in the system. The transmission we intercepted was addressed to Commander Aranhu, a Reman who is the captain of Taris' personal guard. He must be the liaison to the forces in the Hobus system.
What do you suggest, Lieutenant?
The direct approach. If we confront the forces in the Hobus system, who are in violation of both Federation and Romulan Republic mandates by their very presence there, they will send a call for assistance to Commander Aranhu. Once he arrives, we simply follow him. It is likely that he will lead us back to Taris.
A sound plan, Lieutenant.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've just received emergency orders from Republic Command and must respond. Gaius can transport to your ship and help you complete the mission. We'll return as soon as we can.
That will be acceptable, Commander. Good luck. And there they go.
I am detecting some very rare minerals in the system, as well as the presence of protomatter. It is possible that Taris used the materials here to construct her weapon.
Indeed. This is the desolation left by a supernova. I assume this was, at some point, a planet. Terrell informs me that the planetoid's core contains trace signs of protomatter. She suggests we retrieve a sample. And that scanners are also picking up some odd readings from some icy asteroids near the core. She recommends we investigate them as well. Prepare to collect a sample. Terrell confirms that the fragments are decalithium, and that if we can locate a supply of techosite, then that means that Taris could have had all the ingredients she needed to build a device right here in the system. It is still circumstantial evidence, unless we can tie it to her directly somehow. Terrell says that collecting a sample would be crucial. She recommends we scan for techosite deposits. Retrieve a sample and set a course for the next planetary fragment. Remans? Those are Reman warbirds. And they've opened fire, good god. Return fire. These must be Remans loyal to Taris. Those Talis warbirds may have been larger than the Revenant, but I suspect they were reactivated mothballed starships. They weren't a match for us. Either Terrell or Flores is detecting high levels of techosite in the planetary fragment. Techosite was one of the substances Starfleet believes was used in the creation of a weapon that triggered the Hopus supernova.
As I suspected, the materials are all here. Our agent located Taris on planetary fragment Gamma. We should continue our search there.
Understood, Lieutenant. Set a course. It's funny how something that destroyed so many lives could be so beautiful. Terrell informs me that scanners are detecting some kind of shield covering a large crater on the surface of the planetary fragment. And this system is supposed to be under quarantine, but clearly there's some activity. Terrell suggests we get a scan of the shield. Agreed. Flores informs me that our scan triggered an automated defense system, and a Reman ship is decloaking. And hailing us, on screen.
Your presence here is a violation of the quarantines established by at least 3 sovereign governments. Explain your purpose.
We are investigating your unauthorized presence in the system, Commander. What is your excuse?
I serve the Romulan Star Empire and its true leader, Taris. That is the only authorization I require.
Well, unfortunately, I require somewhat more authorization. Flores believes that if we can disable this Reman ship, it's possible that we may be able to lure out a Ranhu to investigate. My thoughts exactly. Fire. They seem to have a Pterodex. But if the technology on this ship is just as out of date as the others, then this shouldn't be a problem.
Minerals in the planetary fragment will conceal the ship's energy signature. If we hide in the asteroids near it and mask our energy signature, I predict that a Ranhu will approach to investigate further and be unable to detect us.
Understood, Lieutenant. Helm, set a course. Ops, mask our energy signature.
What happened here? We were attacked by Starfleet saboteurs. They appear to have fled.
Interesting. This is exactly like scenario 2247B.
Excuse me?
I thought scenario 1849K would be a more likely option. I shall incorporate this data into my modeling projections. Nevertheless, we should now be able to follow Aranhu's trail. He should lead us right to Taris.
Let's hope so. Commander Aranhu's trail led here to the Iconian system. This is another system that is off-limits to normal traffic, so any activity here is a cause for concern. Flores recommends we investigate. And she says there's a large crater that looks like a good place to start. Set a course for the crater. Flores is picking up a large shield protecting a structure of some type. The shield is using a modified cloaking device. If she hadn't been scanning for large amounts of tachyon particles, she wouldn't have found it. And now she's detecting several Reman ships decloaking and hailing. On screen, shields up.
Federation ship. I am Commander Shanclado of the Reman starship Intraku. Your presence here could be considered an act of war. Leave immediately, or we will open fire.
We have no intention of leaving, Commander.
That is unfortunate, Starfleet. Our conflict is not with you. Commander Arahu has charged me with securing this installation at all costs. Praetor Taris must be allowed to complete her work. And you have already seen too much.
Complete her work. Red alert. Oh, they're above us. Open fire. This one seems to be in a better state than the previous one we fought. It's doing some decent damage to the Revenant. But it's not enough.
I took the liberty of accessing systems before it was destroyed. I managed to download the access codes for the planetary shield. I believe we should be able to use them to lower the shield and reach the surface.
Excellent work, Lieutenant. Transmit the codes. Flores informs me that the codes that Lieutenant Solan procured have indeed lowered the base's shields. Now we can beam down an away team and investigate whatever Taris is doing.
These are the coordinates for the underground structure we detected. Reading life signs, sir. Multiple Remans and one Romulan. Our quarry could be just ahead.
It does seem that way.
Starfleet! How did they find us? They must have followed me, Praetor.
Jesus
I will
Christ.
deal with them.
No, I need your help with the gateway. Send your guards.
Commander Aranhu either has a very large lower body, or he's got some very strange clothes.
They appear to have been attempting to merge iconian and romulan technology. Perhaps in an attempt to reactivate the gateway network.
We can't let that happen.
We should access that console and attempt to open the door.
Acknowledged. There are logs here of shipments to and from the base There are logs here of shipments to and from the base in the Hobus system, as well as schematics for several devices that are similar to the recovered iconian technology. According to the data, there are also stores of techosite, decalithium, and protomatter on this level. These stores have the same quantum signature as the elements we recovered from the Hobus system. We should download this data and get it back to the Federation and the Republic. Access personal logs. Praetor Taris.
It has been decades, and I still find Haki's betrayal difficult to accept. He is Romulan. Treachery is his heritage, as it is mine. but to go to such lengths to destroy our world. It is too much to bear, even now. He told me the device would destroy Donatra, and I, like a fool, believed him.
Fascinating.
And now, those pathetic refugees from the Republic have told the entire quadrant that I am responsible for the destruction of Romulus. They don't understand. We should be allies. We want the same thing. At least my people know the truth. Aranhu is a rock. I find it strange that Remans are now my only companions. But perhaps they understand loyalty more than any of us. I rely on him to help me continue my work. The Iconians can restore all that is lost. I know it. I just need to make them see that I am worthy. The Dark Masters have responded to my pleas for assistance with dread silence. My only recourse is to harness their technology for myself. When I can step through the gateway and meet them as an equal, I am confident that they will turn back time and make everything as it was before. The base in the Hobus system is lost to me, but the quarantine holds. Aranhu can use it as cover to collect the protomatter and bring it back to me. Sela is looking for me. So is the Republic. If only I could make them see. I am our people's last hope.
Well, that settles it. She's insane. Computer, unlock the blast doors. That was easy. Zarva informs me that Taris has a lab full of iconian equipment. She suggests we see if we can find anything noteworthy. Agreed. Oh. It seems they have some sort of telepathic attack. Luckily, he is quite susceptible to phasers. Oh Christ!
Have it. What? No! Traitors!
That looks like Earth space dock, and I don't know where that was. Jesus Christ, she activated a bloody Iconian gateway. Surrender, Taris. Or not.
Enough. You have won. And in winning, you have doomed the Romulan people.
So-called preator Taris, under the authority of Starfleet, you are under arrest for war crimes, committing an act of genocide and crimes against the galaxy.
They were not my crimes. I was betrayed by Hakeem. And now those crimes will never be undone. I hope you realize that in stopping me, you have doomed billions of Romulans to remain dead. Now you shall live with that guilt, as I have.
Even now, you deny the truth of your role in the destruction of your people. You were blinded by your own lust for power, and you killed those people as surely as if you had pulled the trigger yourself. Revenant, lock onto Taris and beam her directly to the brig.
Before we leave, may I suggest we look for evidence of the materials we discovered at Hobus? They will undoubtedly prove vital at Taris' trial. We should also overload the gateway, make certain it can never be used again.
Agreed. I'm detecting techicides in this container. The techicides in this container contain energy signatures that correspond to the techicide deposits we scanned in the Hobus system. Techicide is an explosive compound Starfleet believes was present in the device that triggered the Hobus supernova. And if it's here, it could be connected. We should also recover some of the Iconian technology from here for Temporal Agent Cray.
Taris first encountered the Iconians in 2365, when her warbird responded to a Federation incursion into the Romulan neutral zone. Those ships were there because the USS Yamato had located this world, Iconia, which until then had been lost to history.
Fascinating.
The Yamato did not survive first contact with the Iconian probes. The USS Enterprise and Taris' ship did. Since then, she's been obsessed with the Iconians, first as a source of power, and later as a way to bring back her lost homeworld. Taris believes they can turn back time, but it was Iconian agents who gave Hakiv the device that triggered the Hobus supernova. Why would the Iconians restore what they destroyed?
Indeed. Oh, and he just closed the channel. He never lets me ask questions, ever. Just dumps a lot of information on me and leaves. Right. Let's find some decalithium. I'm detecting some in this container. Apparently this decalithium, along with the techosite, matches the ones we scanned in the Hobus system. The evidence does seem to be stacking up. Now we just need to find some protomatter. And lo and behold, here it is. What a surprise, this protomatter also seems to come from the Hobus system. Protomatter was used in the Genesis device. It's powerful, but extremely dangerous. Now all we have to do is overload this gateway. The gateway has been programmed to overload and there's no way to stop it. We need to return to the Revenant before that happens. Revenant, 6 to beam up. Flores informs me that Taris is in the brig, and all the evidence we found has been logged and secured. Now we just need to deliver it and her to a safe location. Set a course out of the system. Warp 8. Oh Christ. Those don't happen to be Romulan Republic ships, do they? No, it's the Leaval. That damn ship that had the Sumatra laid up.
How nice to see you again. I feel like we are becoming old friends. I will admit that your previous attempts to thwart my plans have been irritating. But your actions today have more than made up for those petty annoyances.
Oh, do they?
Taris still has her loyalists among my people. An open move against her would have been a distraction from my greater plans.
I don't work for you, Seela.
But you played the pawn perfectly. I could not have asked for a more obedient tool. Now, if you will transport Taris to my ship, we can avoid any unpleasantness.
Go to hell. Hey, Starfleet, what the hell are they doing here?
The Lisette informed us that you might need some assistance with the prisoner transport. Good thing we brought some backup.
You are a welcome sight, Captain Sean.
Taris is wanted by the Romulan Star Empire for high treason and war crimes against the Romulan people. The Empire is the legitimate government of the Romulan people, and I demand you turn this terrorist over for trial and punishment.
We have several very long options. The first being, you make an excellent point, but I'm afraid since we captured her, we must maintain custody. You are welcome to submit an extradition request to the office of the Federation President. Second one being, Taris' actions did not just impact Romulus and the Romulan worlds. Her alleged crimes were against the entire quadrant. You will be welcome to attend and even testify at her trial, or perhaps we could establish an interplanetary tribunal of those impacted by the Hobus supernova. But for now, she will remain in Starfleet custody. The last one is, turn her over for a sham trial and a swift execution. Sorry, Seela, but the Federation has an ancient ideal we call due process. I think I'll go with that one.
You are a disappointment. Nevertheless, you did remove Taris from the game, and for that I am grateful.
You're welcome.
Consider your decisions more carefully the next time we meet. I can be a powerful ally, or I can be your worst enemy.
You are the epitome of generosity, Empress. I think Taris will be safer on the USS Belfast with Captain Sean. Transporter room, prepare to transport.
Prisoner transfer successful. Taris is safely secured in the brig. We can take it from here. One more thing. We're detecting some unusual energy residue from the surface. Our databases identify it as iconian.
Ah, yes, there was an iconian gateway on the surface. A group of Remans used it to escape.
Do you have any idea where they went?
We only caught a glimpse, but it looked like some kind of Romulan station. Ah, and the Lisette is here, on screen.
Looks like we missed all the excitement, but I have been monitoring your progress. On behalf of the Romulan Republic, I would like to thank you and your crew for your assistance. I am confident that the Federation will provide more than adequate security for Taris until her trial can be arranged. You can transport Gaius back to the Lisette as soon as you are ready.
A pleasure, Commander. Transporter room, you are clear to send Lieutenant Salan back to the Lisette. Okay, now depart the system, Warp 8.
We have much to consider. If the destruction of the Romulan homeworld was a deliberate act, not only was it mass murder, but that one event has been a major cause of the destabilization of the quadrant over the past 40 years, not to mention the light that it casts on the internal struggles of the Romulan people. This one horrible act set off a chain of reactions that could change the galaxy forever. We must know who did this and why. The interrogation of Taris will no doubt lead to many truths. But I am troubled by these Remans. Why did they turn on Taris? And where did they go?
Indeed, Admiral. But that's all for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this kind of content and you'd like to see more, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and it means a lot to me. And, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.